Yeah, I started it early, so soon. For some reason my mic is not sitting right. I guess it's sitting right, it's just not the way I want it to sit. It's not really made for that. My stand is not made for that mic. Made for a different mic. Wow, we got 4 peoples in here. What the heck? Hi, everybody. Hello, my little biddies. Love you all. Thank you for showing up a little early. We got so much today. To be fair, we're only doing one reality roundup, even though there's 3 out there that we need to do because I didn't do anything this weekend. So, did you know that Dick Van Dyke turned 100 on Saturday? He did. 100 years old. Isn't that amazing? He's still kind of going at it. I mean, he looks good for 100. um, Taylor Swift's birthday was on Saturday too. She's 36. I know this because she's half my age. She was half my age at one point. And Dorinda Medley from Real Housewives is 61, and I know that because we have the exact same birthday on Saturday. So that was fun. I had a good time. I got all my kids together, which was like a miracle. We never do that. So somebody always has something different planned. So I was really, really, really happy about that. We went and watched. We were going to go to this big light drive-through thing down by Detroit, but the kids are really little right now, and they tend to fall asleep in the car. As a matter of fact, the little one fell asleep and slept all through dinner on Saturday, which was just pizza, which is fine. I like pizza, so it's good. I ordered my own pizza, of course. You know, I have to plan my own birthday. Some of us have to do that. So we had pizza, and then we went to a house that had a light show closer to our house that was advertised online. And it was okay. And then my son got the bright idea that there's another house closer to our house. Actually, there's 2 usually, that also had a light show. And that one was actually better than the advertised one. So we went and watched that one. And then we were going to go to a third one, but they took the year off apparently. So that's okay. You got to do that every once in a while. Especially when you're doing something big like that, you got to have some time off once in a while. So that's okay. We'll catch them next year maybe. Let's see what I get for my birthday. Nothing. Oh no, I got little. My son and daughter-in-law got me the Miniverse. They got me a Top Chef one, which I love Top Chef, so that's good. Was it Top Chef? I think it was Top Chef. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again. And and a little kitchen one, which turned out to be an espresso maker. So I'm gonna have to put those together at some point here, probably after the holidays because it feels like too much now. But do have a reprieve because we're not doing our family holiday until Saturday, so that'll be nice. So I got a couple extra day, or at least one extra day of shopping, and we can go get the good sales if we want to fight the returns, which are not returning. So that works. All right. I guess we'll go to. Has it been 5 minutes? No, still got a minute. Still got a minute. Please join in the live chat. I have it open for a reason so we can chit chat with each other. This cough, normal. My sister has it too, which is weird. And I think my dad kind of does too. So I think it's a hereditary thing in our family that we get a winter cough. And it's annoying. I know it annoys me. I seem to have I think it's just my daughter. But yeah, okay. That was nothing. So schedule this week will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Um, because Thursday I'm having lunch with my daughter, as you know, oh Lord, baby. I will have lunch with her, and we have an appointment before then with a finance guy, and then we're going to I think my husband's taking the day off, and we're going to go Christmas shopping. So that is our schedule. So okay, now it's time. All right, so we're gonna do reality roundup with Seven Little Johnstons. I got almost all of Balin Out Loud done. I have 7 minutes left, but I had to do other stuff for the show, so that will be, I guess, tomorrow. um, you're not missing much on that one, actually. And then this was a really boring episode of Seven Little Johnstons too. So as we left, Anna was looking forward to having the holidays over with and getting on to next year. And this was like all filmed last year, and I feel that for this year. I will be so glad to get this year over with because it has been literally the worst year of my life so far. I'm sure there are worse to come, but this has been really, really bad year all the way around. Like there were accidents and several accidents, um, sick illnesses, so many illnesses. Oh my gosh. Still getting illnesses. Just family drama, which I don't do drama, so it was very trying for me. I don't like the drama. I'm not a drama mama. All right, and remember that Amy said Anna was not worth the invite to the Asian Thanksgiving. Yeah, literally said it's not worth inviting her because everyone will have to walk on eggshells. So Anna is not worth it, apparently. That's what it sounds like to me. So the family minus Anna has gone to Macon to see the Christmas lights, and they think Leighton enjoyed the Christmas lights. I'm pretty sure by age 1, I was aware of whether my kids were not enjoying something or not, um, or just going with the flow. But they're just glad she wasn't crying. They go to a coffee shop, and Bryce says Christmas will probably be Leighton's favorite holiday because it's his favorite holiday. And Liz and Bryce take the opportunity to tell everyone they've closed on a house. Oh shoot. I think I closed that. Darn, I was going to show you the house. And now I can't because I don't have the link anymore. It's just a little black and white house. It's nothing special. It's a good starter home. The kids that are still living at home said they're going to miss Leighton. Ambitch says since Anna won't be invited for the yearly family Christmas pajama photo shoot, they will instead do a nativity scene. And shouldn't they have done this last year when Leighton was an actual newborn instead of this year when she's a year old? Because I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't a year old by the time the wise men got there. Emma gets to be the angel. And when the producer asks how she feels about it, she says, who wouldn't want to be an angel? And then they ask if she's already an angel, and Alex pipes in with an emphatic no. And Emma says, what he said, I guess not. Amber says she'll be the shepherd and the one in charge. Amber, you're always the one in charge. But I think the wise men should be in charge because they're wise, right? I mean, the shepherd's probably doesn't even have an education at that point. Anna's doing her own photo shoot with her dogs, and she's dressed as Mrs. Santa Claus, and she's kind of really cute. Cruiser's a reindeer, and Marley's going to be an elf, except Marley refuses to dress up. She says she'll be spending Christmas with her boyfriend. There are only seven, so there's 9 people in this family now, and only 7 stockings on the mantle that I counted. One of them is Bryce, so who else is left out besides Anna? I couldn't see one for Anna, and I didn't see one for Leighton. How come Leighton doesn't get a stocking? They're brown suede with lace fringe, and Jonas has lace on it, which I find kind of funny, considering. Their conservatism. But they're boring. Oh my goodness, they're so boring. Cannot believe how boring those stockings were. No, like, no splash of color or anything, just white on beige. Liz and Bryce are planning for their house, and she wants to paint it gray, which is silly because it's already gray. It's already painted gray. Why are you repainting it? A different color gray? Someone on Reddit commented about the gray, but there are some nice gray out there, but they're fairly dark. I like fairly dark grays. I don't like the light grays. Liz is really into neutrals, so it's like beige carpet and gray walls. Even we didn't have that bad. And my husband is addicted to Shasta white, which was like the builder color back in the day. Everyone agrees that Liz and Amber have the same aesthetics when it comes to decorating. Boring. They're called boring. Amber says they're not too bright, vibrant colors as she sits in front of a bright blue wall. So hypocritical and silly. I swear production sets them up to look bad sometimes. They're all discussing the time they had a red kitchen. And they show it, and it's not a bad kitchen. It's like a Tuscany red. Amber scoffs at it. She's weird. It was not a bad kitchen. It was not a bad kitchen color. She had it all decked out in like a Tuscany theme. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. Uh, so they pick out a barely gray white, which goes along with the Pantone color of the year, I guess, which is a barely white. They're gonna paint the whole house in the same color. Boring. Can't you like put something in the baby's room at least that's not gray? And as I said, the house is already gray. Bryce is going to get to put up one deer head in the living room, and Liz is going to decorate everything else. So it's Liz's house, not Bryce's. And they're going to gear up for Liz to be a stay-at-home mom. Speculation on Reddit is that she didn't pass her nursing test and was rejected for ultrasound school. I wonder how bad her grades really are. So gray walls, beige carpet. My house is more exciting. My husband's addicted to Shasta white. It is, but that's because he hasn't painted a lot of it. We've been here since '08. And we still need to paint the main room, area. The main living area is all one, great room type thing, and our bedroom. The other rooms are painted, thank goodness. Painted the basement before he painted that. Um, Bryce, it turns out, hand sews, but doesn't know how to use a sewing machine, and he learned how to sew when he learned taxidermy, which was a nice little interesting tidbit. Amber says no one in the house sews, which is not true because Bryce clearly sews. So they have to have all of their clothes tailored, or pretty much all of them. Why wouldn't somebody have the skill set to sew? That just would make sense to me that they should be sewing. It'd save a lot of money. I'm short. I don't sew, but I'm not as short as they are. I don't have to have everything tailored, and usually I can work it. But no, somebody should sew in that house because seamstresses are expensive. Trent says he can sew a button, and Amber says she's never seen him, so she doesn't believe him. But next time, he's going to have to sew his own button. Of course, the boys are having problems threading the needles, and it's cute, really cute that Bryce is showing them how to sew, and they're going to sew up the costumes for the nativity scene. Trent says he knows how to thread a needle because he was in home ec in high school, and he claims he spent 5 years in high school. And I think that would really explain a lot from this family. Then the boys have a discussion about promise rings and Bryce proposing to Liz, and Jonah's complaining that when Bryce proposes, then he's going to feel more pressure to propose to Ashley. And Alex says his proposal's far off, and they're all like, "Well, yeah, I wasn't talking to you," basically. Trent and Amber are not getting each other gifts for Christmas because they are focused on Layton. Like, okay, my husband and I don't get Christmas gifts, but we've never gotten each other Christmas gifts. We get, something we need, or, something we want, or go on a trip or something. But that did not start when we had grandchildren. That's insane. And then they start in on Anna and claim they have attempted to get together with her. What does that mean? Not inviting her to family functions does not sound like an attempt I've ever heard of. It's not an attempt to do anything. That's just ostracizing her further. Which, okay. Anna's not in this a lot. Anna says she's distanced herself for her own mental health and she doesn't want to fight with them anymore. And she just like to move forward and they just want to fight. They just want to pound on her. Trent says that he might have not been the best dad the last time he talked to Anna. Gee, you think? You literally told her you hated her. Next, they're doing the family photo minus Anna for Christmas. Trent doesn't know which way his costume goes on, so he puts it on. He put it on the right way the first time, then he turned it around, then he turned it around again. Liz can't even fit into hers. Amber's bossing people around because she can't be bothered to go get her outfit herself. Typical Johnston nonsense. Jonah thinks it will completely go downhill based on every project he's ever been a part of. And they are off to a roaring start, aren't they? He's hoping Leighton does well, but most important is that his mom is satisfied with the photo. That says a lot. Trent says he has a sad surprise and he goes out to the garage. He got a live goat photo shoot. It's the cutest little goat. It's so cute. Everyone approves of the goat. Even Amber's not mad about it. They're taking pics, and of course, the goat's not cooperating because it's an animal. But it's a cute goat. Liz says that the photo shoot was a nice break from pajamas, and Trent says he'll never complain about pajamas again. Okay, sad note. This episode was dedicated to Tegan Zofel, who was a producer on the show. She was only 24, and the obituary suggests donations being made to Lifeline.org, a suicide prevention organization. So I think we know really what happened there. It's so heartbreaking and tragic, and my heart goes out to her friends and family. Just heartbreaking. And I put a link in the description for did I do that? I better check and make sure I did that. I was going to put a link for luckily I can do this while we're live because I forget things. Oh, no, I did it. Yay me! Okay, there's links in the description to the Parade magazine article and the obituary for her. If you want to check those out, that's up to you. Another sad sad note. Please make sure you go and sign, if you're in Michigan, the Rebecca Park Act. The link is in the description. This is a young lady that was murdered by her parents who had lost custody of her as a child. She was an adult, but they still managed to do away with her. And it has enhanced penalties when terminated parent harasses, stalks, or commits fraud against the survivor. Automatic eligibility for protection orders for survivors in those situations. Require verification from agencies when a terminated parent tries to act on the survivor's behalf because they will do things that will mess with your life. And recognition of these cases as a high-risk situations for law enforcement. And next, I want to address Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner was my favorite producer, director of all time. He directed and wrote my favorite movie, which is The Princess Bride, which I made the boys watch yesterday with me. He directed and wrote Spinal Tap, and I just got done with Spinal Tap 2, just came out on HBO. I have not seen that, but I intend to. He wrote a lot of people's favorite movies. Misery, When Harry Met Sally, which he put his best friend, Billy Crystal, in the lead against his own better judgment, but it seemed to work out. They're still best friends. As you know, he was murdered by his own son on Sunday. Um, Apparently, Billy Crystal found him and his wife. So my heart goes out to Billy. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. It's so heartbreaking. His kid had a lot of problems. I don't know where his mind was that this would solve any of them, but obviously he's not right. Not right at all. All right, so we're gonna start next time with Bailing Out Loud because I'll have that done. I'll probably have Sister Wives done by then too. Hopefully. No guarantees. No guarantees on anything. It's Christmas. Um it doesn't ever feel like Christmas to me until after my birthday, so it's an issue. It's an issue. Everything's last minute and crazy. I did make some new fudge. I made a dark chocolate fudge. Turned out pretty well. Everybody seemed to like it. There's only like 3 pieces left now after the kids were here and Brandon ate one or BW ate one yesterday. Um, he's so cute. He's cute, but he is stubborn as a heck. He spilled 3 different things yesterday. He spilled popcorn all over the floor. He spilled his goldfish all over the floor, and then got him to pick those up. And then he spilled pretzels all over the floor, and they had um, ranch dressing top or ranch, the packet dried ranch in them. And so I guess I still have to clean that up because I haven't gotten to it yet. But he would not pick it up, not pick it up, not pick it up. I finally sat him down in a chair and he went to sleep. He's stubborn when he's tired, he's really stubborn. Then he woke up. I woke him up actually because I didn't want to sleep in too long because it was later in the day and I was afraid he wouldn't go to bed at night for my son and daughter-in-law. And then he cried for like 45 minutes for mommy and daddy. And then by the time daddy got there to pick him up, he was didn't want to leave. Like, great. Fantastic. Oh, he's so stubborn. He's cute, he's sweet, but he's stubborn. I don't know where he gets that from. I don't know where he possibly could get that from. All right, let's get into Reddit reads. First one is I Am I the Jerk? Entitled Am I the Jerk for Refusing to Give My Stepmom the Money My Dad Left Me? Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. So here's the deal. I, 26 male, lost my dad this year. I'm sorry, OP. That stinks. It was rough. He'd been married to my stepmom, let's call her Karen, for 8 years. They didn't have kids together. She wasn't exactly warm to me growing up, but we were civil. My dad left me a decent chunk of change in his will, enough for a down payment on a house and then some. Good. That's nice. I'm glad you're getting that at least. He explicitly stated the money was for me, his only biological child, to get a good start in life, as you should do for your kids. Karen got the house and a comfortable amount of savings, so it's not like she was left out. Fast forward to this year, I mentioned to Karen that I was looking to buy a house, and she immediately started trying to guilt trip me about family responsibilities. He's not your family. He's not your family anymore. Apparently, she's been having trouble with bills, and she asked me for a loan from the inheritance to keep the house running. That's up to you. You're an adult. I said no. I told her that my dad made it clear the money was for me, and she lost it. She told me I was being greedy. Who's being greedy here? You got a house and substantial savings, lady. If you can't keep up with your bills, then you need to sell your house. That family comes first, and my dad would be disappointed on me. No, he would be pissed that she's even asking. Now my relatives are split. Some say I'm right to stand my grounds. Others say I should help out because she was part of my dad's life. Reddit, am I the jerk? And there's an edit I have posted an explanation. Go check it out. I think he meant explanation. That is not what that's. Top comment is additional sentence says, just stop talking to her. Yeah. You don't owe your ex former stepmother anything. You don't owe her anything because it's your inheritance. She got hers, you got yours. She should be able to pay her own bills. Why can't she pay the bills? If she can't pay the bills, then she should sell the house and buy something smaller. And this one was deleted from entitled people, so we will have to go to see if we can find a different one. Good. Right here. Okay, this one's good. Bear with me one moment. Okay. Okay. This is from Entitled People, and it's entitled, Friend is Mad, My Brother Won't Date Her. Okay, I guess you can be mad about that all you want. My sister has this friend named Lisa. Maybe it's Liza. We're going to say Liza because it's spelled like Liza Minnelli. My sister has this friend named Liza, both 26. Liza has always had a crush on her brother Philip. Philip is 33 and has no kids. Liza has 3 kids by 2 different men. So my sister Liza and I were doing some early Christmas shopping. I was going down the list of what I was planning on getting everyone in the family when Philip came up, and Liza said I should get him coal, and I asked why. She tells me that she has been dropping hints to Philip that they should spend time together during the upcoming holidays. Philip wasn't picking up her hints, so Liza flat out asked him to be her with her during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like get to know her kids and family during the holidays. And Philip told her no. Smart Philip. Philip's really smart. He usually spends time out in the country anyway. So I asked Liza if she thinks Philip should get coal because he rejected her. She says, honestly, I kind of always thought Philip was gay, but now I got other suspicions. I looked at my sister in the rearview mirror like, you not going to check your friend? My sister asks what suspicions, and Liza says, don't play dummy off. An adult man doesn't like adult women. There are 2 other options. Um, no. No, there aren't. There's also, he's just not that into you. I saw my sister wasn't going to say anything to her, so I did. I said, so because my brother doesn't want to be with you, he's either a gay or a pedo? She said, it's not even that he doesn't want to be with me. He won't even give it a chance. It's weird and not fair. He won't give us a chance because I have kids. So I'm like, yeah, if Philip dated you, he'd become an immediate dad like day one. That's a crazy responsibility for anyone. Then Liza cuts me off and says, Philip is a 33-year-old man that needs some damn responsibility. She was yelling, so I yelled back, his responsibility is not going to be your damn kids. Then my sister finally speaks up and tells us to calm down, and I was taken home. I get home and I was telling my mom and Philip about it. We had a laugh. It's just crazy she's upset my brother won't date her. She tries to slander his name by calling him a possible pedo or a gay man because he has no interest in her. Edit. I keep getting asked why I hang with Liza. Liza is my sister's friend. My sister is going through mental health and addiction issues. My sister is not ready for help. We can't force her to do anything, so we just keep her close and make sure she's safe. She's family. Liza is a friend that comes in and out of my sister's life. When she's out, my sister's fine and works to better herself. When she's in, my sister finds herself in chaos and trouble. Sounds like Liza is a really, really bad influence. I also got asked about my brother's feeling toward the pedo comment. He literally doesn't care. He's got a job in another country and will be out of the USA by February. You could slap him right now and you wouldn't ruin his day. Good for you, Philip. You go. Please stop asking why I didn't drive myself. Cars are expensive and I'm poor. Someone pointed out a pedophile joke and I didn't even catch it. My brother's name is actually Philip. Don't use your brother's actual name in the thing. Uh, Holly Jazzy is a top commenter and says, I can see why Philip doesn't want to date her. Yeah, so can I. She's a mess. She is clearly a mess. Holy cow. No, you're not not the, oh, entitled. That's just a story. Entitled people story. Yeah, no, yeah. Liza sounds like a mess. All right. This is from What Should I Do? And it's entitled AI app refuses to delete my girlfriend's photos after her ex used them to make fake images. That's terrible. It says, I can show you. This is from the AI app. And it says, we have reviewed your request for the removal of personal images from our system after assessment. It's not feasible. As stated, our privacy content submitted to or processed by our platform may be utilized for ongoing training and optimization of our machine learning models. But she didn't upload them, sir. This data is transformed into non-identifiable parameters and cannot be isolated or removed for post-training. Well, that sounds dumb. Why did you do it that way? Please note that our models do not retain individual image files, nor are we able to reverse engineer training data to identify specific contributors. Okay, we can send you the pictures if you'd like. For this reason, request removal of such data fall outside the scope of our data subjects rights process. We acknowledge your concern, but confirm that no more action can be taken at this time. Sue them. Sue them. That is just so wrong. They need to be sued. I'm genuinely losing my effing mind. My girlfriend has been going through hell because her ex started using some AI photo generator to make fake, inappropriate images of her, like actual altered pics using her real face. We emailed the company explaining everything and even included proof and screenshots asking them to delete her photos from their system. They replied with this crappy message saying they can't delete any training data because it is anonymized and used for model improvement. That just seems like a bad way to do business. Seems like a good way to get sued. Basically, we're saying her face is now just data to them. If you have any idea what we need to do, please tell us. She has been having panic attacks ever since, and she can't even go online without worrying about what else might be there. She could sue the ex-boyfriend, for sure. I've been taking care of her while she took time off from work. I'm seriously enraged. Where is all of the accountability of these AI apps? It's disgusting how these companies just hide behind policy instead of doing the decent thing. All we ask is for her to delete photos, and that's it. I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm tired of the back and forth emails. What does GDPR mean? All right, I have to look something up. I told you I don't read these. General Data Protection Regulation. Yeah, okay. So general data protection regulations. Well, that's one hell of a GDPR breach. Coming from a computing background, I kind of know what they are on about, that your girlfriend's images could have been turned into an anonymous data structure, but this is a BS call that it can't be deleted and cannot be used further. I'd make a police report against the company, but also against the ex. Yes. Making revenge pornography of someone is about as serious as digitally enabled crime can get. That is true. And the OP says, I've been going back and forth with their customer support. I was up all night reading their privacy clause that is so vague. I don't even know if I can pursue a case. I'm just so worried about my girlfriend. I don't know whom I can ask regarding this. Ask a lawyer. Ask a lawyer. You could even there's a lawyers on Reddit that you can ask. You tried to get that fixed internally, and now your girlfriend needs to go to the police, your country's data control office, and report the situation. They won't fix this themselves, force their hand. And Michael says also get a lawyer who works in revenge porn cases. Yes. They'll know better how to traverse this issue legally. Yeah, that's what I would do. Get a lawyer. And malicious compliance is also. Sorry. That one also got deleted. Mm, I'll try and find another one. Hmm. I don't have any more. Guess we'll have to go to last month's. Okay, there's one from last month still up here, so. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Sorry. I don't control Reddit at all. I think we'll move that in case we run into this again. Okay. This was compliance from 2 months ago. Um, it's entitled Absentee Boss Wants Me to Increase the Daily Order Against My Suggestion. You got it. I used to work at an upscale-ish cafe. I was supervisor in charge of the bakery section. There was also a kitchen and a coffee bar. Now, Mother's Day was the biggest day of the year by a huge margin. Makes sense. Like it would be close to triple our daily sales for a regular Sunday. Most mid-grade holidays would also be busy, and after every big holiday sales day, the sales the next day would be around 50 to 60% of normalish. So I'd order about two-thirds of my regular order for that Monday. That makes sense. I mean, it's going to be slow because everybody was there the day before. So only your regulars are going to show up. Because everybody that wanted stuff from there was there the day before. Now, our owner was somewhat absentee from our store. She owned 5 locations, 4 of them were in the same city. Ours was the outlier in a smaller location about 2 hours away. She spent almost half her time at the 4 locations and maybe visited us. Oh, sorry. She spent almost all of her time at the 4 locations and maybe visited us once a month. I mean, that's normal. That's not anything out of the ordinary. This month, she happened to come in on the day after Mother's Day. I can add that all of the employees, only the assistant manager liked the owner. Even the manager couldn't stand her. She saw that my bakery case was somewhat low and asked why, and I explained that the day after the holidays was always slower and I ordered less because I didn't want to waste money. She told me never do that again. Okay, it's your money to lose, lady. She in fact told me to double my normal order. Okay, that's just crazy. Now she's insane. Now I've been at this job for 4 years by this point, and I knew the bakery section inside and out. Also, at this point, only the manager and one of the cooks had been there longer than I. Even the manager told me that things were always better when I was there. I was always stayed late to cover call-ins. Uh, Often came in on my day off if they needed me. I even drove once to a catering event 90 minutes each way to satisfy a loyal customer. I told the owner that today was a special circumstance that doubling order would lead to a lot of food waste and recommended that we not do that. With my regular daily orders, we usually only run out near the end of the day, barring unforeseen circumstances like someone coming in doing a big pastry order without notice. This was from a lot of trial and error over the years, and I changed my order up whenever these things looked like they were changing. But she insisted, even after my manager told her that our regular order was fine. I again tried to tell her that she just told me to do it. My manager said it by that point, so I did. I doubled my regular order. After about 2 weeks, she emailed me asking why we were throwing away so many pastries every day. Well, gee, lady, I wonder why. I told her that she told me to double my order, which at that point my boss says she wanted to fire me. My boss convinced her that she needed me to help run the store, which she probably did. So I wasn't fired, but I lost my position as a bakery lead. I was still a supervisor who mostly worked in the bakery section, but I no longer ordered product. Still the same wage, but I was switched from mostly mornings to mostly nights. While I did miss my morning regulars, I also enjoyed making the same money for less responsibility. About 6 months later, the manager quit to go back to school, and the place went downhill fast. As I said, everyone working there hated the owner except for the assistant manager, who had quit a month before this for a new job. As soon as this happened, I started looking for a new job, even though I hated changing jobs. I did so. I did a number of others. Everyone was loyal to the manager, nobody to the owner. That makes sense because they were an absentee owner. You're working for your manager, not the owner. I took a supervisor job at a nearby restaurant and never looked back. I'm told by some coworkers who are still there that it became difficult to get through the day without me. The manager's still there, and we lost a lot of sales for over a year before they started picking up again. Wow, that sucks. Crazy Butterfly has the top comment, and it says, "So because you followed her rules and tried to tell her what you know, you almost got fired. She's not a good owner or manager. Sorry, got confused with the titles, but she shouldn't even be in that job." Steve says, "You must be new around here. Incompetent owners, managers, etc. are the bread and butter of the sub." Uh, SFC Hayes says, "Personally, I prefer mayo or honey mustard on my subs." Yeah, like, you got people in there that are doing their jobs and they've been doing very well and they're making you money. Don't change things that you don't know about. Like, you might be the owner, but you don't know that particular spot. You're there once a month. It's silly. All right. Next, we have AITAH, entitled AITAH for wanting to walk away from my marriage and the child we were raising after finding out the child is biologically my husband's. That, what? That's odd. There's a lot to this, and it's all newly revealed to me, so I'm still processing it. I'm sure I'll be all over the place, so I'm so angry about this. My husband's sister adopted a child 4 years ago. She had talked about it before being a single mom by choice, and when her friend had a child she didn't want to raise, she said it made sense to step in and offer to become the baby's mom. Everyone was supportive and welcomed the baby into the family. 2.5 years ago, my husband's sister was diagnosed with MS. Oh, that stinks. She unfortunately declined rapidly and asked us to take her child, and we agreed. We had not yet had children of our own at that point, which made it easier. We made sure she still spent time with her child, and she asked that we continue raising the child. And I'm saying the child to keep anonymity, no matter how bad she gets if she dies. We agreed. My husband never acted weird around the kid, never acted like he had some secret. He acted like an uncle willing to step in and raise his sister's child. Recently, his sister confessed to me that my husband was biological father of this child. She said my husband and her best friend used to hook up occasionally, and he did it again right before we got married, and this child is a result of his infidelity. I was sick. She told me she couldn't keep lying to me because eventually it would come out, and she wanted to minimize the damage. I confronted my husband, and he denied it, so I asked him to do a DNA test. He's the father, there's no doubt. DNA confirmed he's the biological father. Yeah, I would have said wait till the DNA tests come in, but it's confirmed, and that sucks. He told me nothing happened since we were married and he loves me. He's sorry for what he did. He said it was a drunk night before our wedding and he would never do something like that again. Then he said he wanted us to be a family and offered to adopt his child and raise them as our own. He told me this doesn't have to end us. I mean, it doesn't have to, but the circumstances are pretty severe. I left the house and been staying with my sister since the DNA results. I'm disgusted and I don't want to sign up for this. That that's your prerogative. I know that the baby is innocent, but I can only now see how I know the baby is innocent, but I now can only see what my husband did, and I can't imagine raising them and acting like their mom and keeping my husband in my life. My husband's sister has reached out to apologize multiple times, and she told the rest of their family the truth also. My husband's parents have tried to contact me to get me back to my husband. They have told me I am family now and I can't leave, especially not with their daughter, unable to raise this baby again. I had to block them because their messages were blaming and shaming me more and more for not agreeing to marriage counseling and moving forward as a family. I don't see a way back from this. but I have been in this child's life since birth and raised them for more than a year and a half. I just know I could never be a good mom knowing what I know. AITAH for wanting divorce and walk away. No, you're not the asshole for that. Not at all. If you know yourself, if you could not raise this child as your own, um, and have obviously you want to have other kids based on what you've said, and if you would treat this child any differently than your own kid, you should not stay in the marriage. No kid should have to go through that. And I understand the upset for sure. That would be horrible. Oh my goodness. Kate Not Edwina is the top commenter, and she says, I can't imagine how you feel right now. Just the other betrayal and all of them expecting you to be fine with it is insane. Yeah, expecting someone to be fine with this is nuts. Like, initially, you're any way you go, you're going to be upset. Any way you go. And your family should not, well, your married family um, should not be pressuring you like that. You need to make a decision, and it should not be a pressured decision. And OP says, I feel so much disgust and hurt that this was kept from me. It would have hurt either way once he cheated, but I could have walked away. And far easier since we weren't married yet. But this went on so much longer and got far deeper. He's the father to someone else's child, a child he fathered days before our wedding. Days before the wedding. Oh my goodness. Bino says, don't forget this his sister and probably the rest of the family knew this as well. To berate you for leaving is crazy. Move on, don't look back. He does not deserve you. Continue to be no contact forever with any of the screeching flying family monkeys or their friends who try to guilt, bully, gaslight, or manipulate you into changing your mind and accepting the situation. Deal with him only through your lawyer. Um, she says his sister kept it from the rest of the family so she wouldn't find out. The rest of the family found out from his sister afterward, and his parents still expect her to just get over it. You don't get over that. That He's been lying to her the whole time they've been married. The whole time they've been married, he's been lying to her. Affectionate cut is long, but they say, of course, they expect you to just get over it. They're just in it for themselves, and that's why. They want the marriage to continue. You stay married to their son benefits them. Yeah, because they won't have to step in and do anything as long as she's there. They want the benefits, family unity, involvement with the grandchild, avoiding public embarrassment, pretending everything is fine, shared child care, etc., without the consequences of falling on their son. They want to protect their son from consequences. When a man fathers a child through an affair, the consequences for him are significant and long lasting. But instead of facing those consequences, some families try to shift the burden onto the betrayed spouse so their son's life can remain as unchanged as possible. That's true. Men don't nearly have what women go through when kids are involved. Your in laws want reconciliation because it benefits their son, not because it's healthy or fair for you. They are trying to protect him from losing money, protect him from shame, protect him from consequences, protect the family image, and protect their own comfort. And they want you to carry the emotional, financial, and parental burden so he doesn't have to. They expect you to raise the child not because it's right, but because it's convenient, image saving, emotionally easier, and beneficial to their son. Yeah, it's all about them. Pure self interest on their part is also easier to pressure you to stay with them than to hold him accountable. Holding their son accountable means admitting he cheated, admitting he lied, admitting he hurt you, admitting he brought a child home from betrayal, admitting he caused this pain. It's much easier to pressure you than to confront him. The fundamental point is that any pressure for you, excuse me, the fundamental point is that any pressure for you to remain is driven by self interest. Your continued presence benefits them, whereas your departure would cause them inconvenience. 100% true. Yeah, poor OP. At least they didn't have kids together. Like, she can financially cut ties with him, and there will be nothing holding her to this family. So that's a benefit to her. Our next read is from Neighbors from Hell, entitled Neighbor is Demanding Payment for Wi-Fi Signals Passing Through His Airspace and served me with a formal letter. Sorry, what? What? Location, California. So my neighbor slid a certified letter under my door claiming that my Wi-Fi is transmitting signals through the hallway, which she argues constitutes unauthorized use of communal airwave space. He's demanding $47,000 in compensation for what he calls electromagnetic trespass. Does he even have a lawyer or something? It's not even a real letter. She said it's a certified letter, but certified letters are not slipped under doors. That's not a certified letter. Is this even a thing? He said in the letter that he's charging me a rate of $1 per cubic foot over a 3-year period. Oh my God, this guy's nuts. He's attached diagrams, frequency measurements he claims to have taken, and references to property law regarding airspace rights. She's not infringing on anyone's airspace. Everybody has a right to that airspace. It's a hallway. It's literally a hallway in an apartment. Oh my gosh. He's giving me 30 days. 30 days to pay the full amount. Nobody has $47,000 laying around, dude. He's giving me 30 days to pay the full amount or agree to disable my Wi-Fi and use only Ethernet or sign an easement agreement, giving him partial ownership to rights on my router? No. My landlord says to ignore it, but the letter mentioned legal actions. I, for one, think it's ridiculous, but I don't want a nasty legal surprise. You're not going to get one. Only a lawyer's going to take this case. It's ridiculous. Do I need to consult with a law attorney, or is my landlord right that this will go nowhere? Any guidance would be appreciated. Oh my gosh. Oh, honey, I don't think you have anything to worry about. This is literally insanity. Super duper host is what says as mod and top comment, and it says, what exactly is a certified letter slid under the door? It sounds more like BS to me. I'm leaving this post up despite numerous reports of fakeness since the comments are fun to read. Annie Arrow says, former postal worker here, letter slid under the door by your neighbors, not a certified letter that can only come through the USPS, and they will not slide it under your door. Your landlord is right. Ignore the nut. Then someone answers, a certified letter requires an official seal. Yes, it does. And money. You have to pay for that crap. And a signature, usually, I think. Oh, I might have put the wrong thing in. Okay, this is a proof of mailing and delivery. Okay, I guess you don't have to sign for it unless you add that to it, but it certified. The post office takes a little slip off of the certified letter when they put it in the post, because I've sent these before. Um, they take like a little slip off, and it gets sent back to the original sender. So no, this is not a certified letter. You can only get that from the post office. It costs at least $74 or 74 cents. Sorry, not dollars. Uh, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's ridiculous. I don't care if it's fake. It's funny. It's funny as heck. Somebody had a good sense of humor, or somebody's really a nut job. And there are nut jobs out there. There are. Okay. The next read is from Benign Existence, and it's entitled, I just carried my senior dog like an asleep toddler in a car without waking him up. I decided to stay up late tonight and finish a series I was watching, and my 14-year-old dog was asleep next to me, covered in a blanket. He's hard of hearing now and sleeps quite deeply, so I decided to try and carry him upstairs without disturbing his sleep. I put my hands underneath and lifted him close to my chest. He was snoring all the way up the stairs and was tucked in his bed without getting woke up. It just feels so precious. Aw. Now you know how people with kids feel. That's really sweet. That's really super sweet. Sweet little puppy. 14 years old. 14 years old is an old man dog. Next, we have Just No Mill, entitled Mill Threatened to Baptize My Toddler Behind My Back While I'm in the Hospital Giving Birth. Ugh, people and their religions. I had such a great relationship with my mother in law until this. She's Hispanic and very Catholic. Why am I not surprised? My husband and I both grew up in the religion, but we do not practice it and lean towards being agnostic. We decided not to baptize our 1 year old. I let my family know, and he supposedly let his family know. My mill was not okay with this, of course. She would push the issue with my husband, and he kept saying no. She would push the issue with me. I think she believes that if she can pressure me into it, I would convince my husband. However, I also told her it's not what we want, and we've made our decision handy already. Well, about 2 weeks ago, she was on a call. Ugh. Well, about 2 weeks ago, she was on a call with my husband and I. She made a random comment saying, "If toddler does XYZ, will you baptize her?" My husband immediately said no, and we both laughed, not to be disrespectful, but more so out of feeling uncomfortable. Then she said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Well, I'm taking care of the toddler while you're in the hospital giving birth. I'm going to take her to church and get her to baptize her. We've already had your dog blessed, and you both never knew." And the dog blessed, for Pete's frickin' sake. Who else would take care of a toddler, implying she's our only option? Oh my goodness. No, you don't do this. This is not something you do. It's wrong. I was furious. I went downstairs while my husband finished the call. She supposedly apologized over the phone, but I'm still so angry. My relationship with her is affected permanently by this. Yes, it would be. I initially was going to ask both her and my mom to take turns watching the toddler, but now I only ask my mom, who has reassured me she will be available as long as I need. I told my husband this all happened because strict boundaries were not set with her from the beginning. He has talked to her, but I'm still stewing. I never let her be alone with my toddler for a long, 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 long time. Yeah, for sure. So the kid can like say, no, I don't want to do that. Aromatic Swing has the top comment, and it says, well, now Mill gets no contact with either the children or the dog. From now on, you will need to set boundaries with his family as well, in writing in a group chat that includes your husband, and so there's zero confusion. You need to be the boundary enforcer as early as is clearly husband doesn't have a shiny spine. And it goes without saying someone needs to watch toddler while you're giving birth. Yeah, her mom's going to watch the toddler while she's giving birth, which, I mean, this is what happens when you do things out of turn, or when you say you're going to do things out of turn. You lose contact with your kids and your grandkids. So don't do that. Your kids are the parents of their grandkids. Let them parent their grandkids the way they see fit. It's not up to you. Boy, I would have been so mad. Next, we have Server Life, and it says, I love to lie in insane ways in order to endear my customers to me. That actually sounds kind of cute. I had a table tell me they were visiting from Omaha, Nebraska. I told them my mom was from there. That's a lie. If I see someone wearing college gear, I always tell them my little brother goes there. Double lie because I don't have a brother. He most certainly is not enrolled in college. One day, one table recently told me I have a royal way of walking. It was a weird comment to make, but I leaned into it and told them I was born on the day Diana died, which is a lie. That's a sad lie. Don't do that. So far, every time I make up an insane thing, it's guaranteed 20% or more. I'll also do it the opposite way. If a table is rude to me and they ask me to split the check, I say we have no check splitting policy. Sorry, that's a lie. If I really don't like the table, I'll tell them I have another reservation coming in 5 minutes and I need the table back. Huge lie. Yeah, that I don't think those would work on me, honey. I gotta talk to a manager. King Shamrock has the top comment. It says, my favorite lie to tell is when a customer is doing an insane, annoying, rude thing is like, sorry about this. And I go, no worries, it's all good. As you should. Oh my goodness. Hot Scallion says, "Me when I drop the check and tell them no rush." No, I'm taking that seriously, dude. If you say no rush, I will not rush. I probably won't rush anyway. But I will tip you well. I mean, we spent 3 hours at, at Texas Roadhouse on Friday. She got a good tip. That's all my dad says. And he does tip, unlike his friends who don't. Yeah, 3 hours in Texas Roadhouse. And I mean, it was whole hours. We were there from 5 to 8. I didn't go home until almost 8:30. It was my birthday. My daddy came took me out. Okay, next we have traumatize them back, and it says my kid won't stop saying 6'7", so we only listened to Friday by Rebecca Black this morning. Right, my kids tortured me with this song when it came out. Okay, I've got to do this. I've got to put it in the comments. Got to put it in the comments. You know I'm going to. Um. All right, that's going in the comments, guys. Or in the, I'm sorry, the description. Um, because I can't resist. I did that to a friend of mine. It's a guy I was working with, a friend of mine at work. He was a work friend. I'm putting it as a top one too. Uh, it's a horrible song, you guys. It's so silly. And it's an earworm, so don't listen to it. Okay, I think the other two are pretty self-explanatory. All right, save. Friday, Friday. Oh, Laura Baby says, I thought you were going to play it and I was scared. And then she says she traumatized herself. I'm telling you, they tortured me. All three of my children tortured me with that song. So then I turned around and tortured my coworker because they hadn't heard it. Like, how have you not heard it? He was only 10 years younger than me, so he was, you know, he's a very music person, but like harder rock stuff. So I sent it to him once. I said, you gotta listen to this song. Usually it's Vinnie Markey I'm torturing them with, and he's like, I hate you. I asked him if he sent it to the other guy. He's like, no. I'm like, you got to send it to him. Everybody needs to be tortured by this stupid song. Oh, we had fun. He still likes me, I guess, a little bit. All right. Our next read is from Petty Revenge, and it's entitled I Outdid My Fiance's Petty Boss. I run a physical therapy clinic and my fiance is a lawyer. A few months ago, at our engagement party, I mentioned to a few of her colleagues that I'm happy to give them a discount if they need to see me. 4 of them have become my regulars. That's nice. One day, one of her partners booked in. To put it lightly, none of the colleagues or my fiance like him. After spending an hour with him, I understand why. He's arrogant and condescending, but strangely desperate for approval. Oh, so he's a narcissist. I remained pleasant with him. After paying, he did mention a discount, but I just said that, well, it's for employees with a smirk. He's been in a few times. 3 weeks ago, he came in and conversation turned to how my day was going. One of my therapists was sick, so I was busier than usual seeing their clients. He said that must be annoying and asked if they needed a medical certificate. I said no, and I think that's a stupid policy as I'd rather someone stay home and not affect the clinic. He countered saying he wanted to be more strict with that at his office to prevent people slacking off. People don't really slack off that much. I ended up getting a rotten cold and eventually gave it to my fiance. It hit her hard and she ended up working from home Friday. She deteriorated over the weekend and took Monday off. Her boss emailed her this morning saying she needed a medical certificate. First time that's been enforced. What an ass. Coincidentally, he had a 2 o'clock appointment with me today, so I booked my fiance with her doctor at 2 and let him know I had to cancel his appointment because I have to drive her to the doctor. To be fair, she's got vertigo and is pretty lightheaded. I'd get back to him if I had any availability, but I'm booked for the next 3 weeks. He's messaged both of us saying the medical isn't necessary. My fiance said she can't cancel due to the late cancellation policy and it's rude. And I just said it's best she go. That could go in malicious compliance right there. Oh, geez, what now? It's the top commenter says, "Oh, I love it when people get live the day they deserve." Oh, Becca says, "It's all rules and principles until it affects him." Yep, that's right. He thought he was gonna like play the nasty. You have to go to the doctor every time you're freaking sick because you can't decide on your own whether you're sick enough to not come in and contaminate everybody else in the office. Or you can't decide for yourself whether you're in a space to actually work or not. It's hard to work with a cold. Your head's all fuzzy and nasty and you're tired. Mm-mm. And now it is time for expectation versus reality. We know how this goes. This is cute. This looks like a little kid wrote it. Or, so I guess this was the expectation. What I asked for versus what I got. So it's the only thing on here. Um, oh, that's cute. It was a tattoo, I guess. It's a cute little tattoo. Personally not into tattoos, but that's a cute one. Very cute. Thank goodness my artist was able to interpret my random word salad and rough drawing. Tattoo done by Eden Tattoo. So I guess we can go to Eden Tattoo, safe place. Top commenter is they understood the assignment. Yep, they did. That's very cute. Okay. If you haven't already, please like notifications. It helps people find the the YouTube channel. And YouTube likes it. So if that's what we're doing. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time. And that's usually Thursday through Friday now. And it will be that way until I can add Mondays. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the current day's live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the email link is also in the description for your convenience. Also, tell everybody you know. Tell your enemies. They might learn something, how to be a better person. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell, 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 tell. All right. Now it's time for um, real estate. Only 25 photos today. What a disappointment. So this is a upstate New York house that overlooks a waterfall, and it is quite lovely. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a house like that. Look at that. That is cool. That is wow. It's a very modern looking house. Okay, that's kind of plain. Can we spruce this up a little? Can we landscape a bit? There's a covered walkway. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's a little covered walkway down to the river. I assume it's a river. Oh, that's nice. What does the inside look like? Oh, that could put you to sleep right there unless you had to pee. It's very, very windowed. If you don't mind windows, you will like this house. If you want some privacy, although there doesn't seem to be anyone else around. That's cool. That's a nice little sitting area, little library area to enjoy the waterfall. I like it. I would live here. Nice river. I would live here if there was a basement and the basement was dry because I cannot deal with a musty basement. That is very plain. Holy cow. I mean, they did not put a lot of vision in this house. Okay, I would need this area, I would need curtains. Do they even have, what is that? Even the bathroom has a window outside. I like that. That's cool. Your media room there. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, I do think about bridges, and I don't like that bridge. It would have to have rails. If it put rails on it, I'd be fine. Don't know. Oh, is this out of the kitchen? I don't know what that is. Oh, this is a bathroom. Okay, I'm not getting the books near the bathtub. Wet is not good for books. Little area. I don't know what that is. That's cool. These people like their books. I do approve of that. Okay, I like that bridge. Don't mind that bridge. So that's what we got. Um, oops. It says it's $3.2 million, 6 bedrooms, 7 baths. So they did not show us hardly any of the inside. 6,500 square feet, which is way more than you need. Um, hmm, Single family, 26 acres. That's where your money's going in that 26 acres. Built in 1995. That was boring for 1995. All right, that's what we got for that. It's not on the market, so you don't have to pay for it. Somebody's living there. All right, our next read is from Confession, and it is entitled, I am a top 0.5% performer at my company. I smoke weed every day. Okay. I don't know how common this is, but it's a secret I'm really careful about. At work, I seem innocent and cheerful. I work hard and get along with everyone, which is my job. Translate to a lot of success. For my appearance, I look like a normal person, kind of nerdy, but still fashionable as I keep up with trends. I've also been smoking weed every day after work for the last 3 years, and not a single person in my work life knows or has any clue about it. And no, my role does not require me to get drug tested, and I don't operate heavy machinery. Opposite outside says, don't sweat it. Companies I've worked for ran by borderline alcoholics. Yeah. I know that. I mean, there are functioning alcoholics, functioning addicts. Not everybody has the same tolerance, I guess. I don't know. Not everybody who drinks is like has the depression and stuff that comes with it. Um, a lot of people who drink function just fine, so I don't see why somebody that smokes after work wouldn't. But it does, you do have to be careful about the smoking every day because it can lead to like paranoia symptoms and stuff like that, from what I understand. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, you're gonna have to see this one. So this is man hiking through the Pantanal, Brazil, comes across this. Yeah, that. Where is it? It's a video. I don't want to see that. It's scary. It's a python. It's not probably going to kill you unless it gets a hold of you somehow. But yeah, that's not fun. Oh my. Uh, the top commenter says, uh, yes, indeed, says Burmese python living in Brazil. And Jennifer says it probably was released by a previous owner. That's how Florida got so many. They're considered an invasive species and actually a pretty big problem in Florida. And I can't imagine it's any better than Brazil. Beatrice Scott says Burmese pythons are loose in Florida. Yeah, you didn't know that, honey? I'm canceling my trip right now. I've been to Florida numerous times, never saw a python. I think they mostly hang out in the swamps. Uh, it's poopy scoop says there's so many that they pay people to hunt them. You can make money as an amateur if you go there with a machete and bring the park rangers a bunch of python corpses. It's actually not as easy as you'd think. My brother and I were there looking for them and we couldn't find any accessible by road. I think you actually have to go deep into the wilderness and known spots to get them. It was still surprising because we heard there were just so many of them. It's actually a huge ecological problem as well. The small mammal population in the Everglades has plummeted. Good news is very, very few will ever make it this close to this size. Many die as hatchlings because of alligators, owls, raccoons, and even other pythons. But there's still an estimated 500,000 or so in there. They're not as scary as they look. They're big, slow, and dumb. Just go up to it and chop its head off. You'll be fine if you ever wanted to visit the Everglades Park. Okay? I'm not super scared of snakes. I don't like them, but I'm not super scared of them. Um, we have these neat little rattlers in Michigan. They're not real rattlers. They just kind of swing their tail back and forth and rattle the leaves. I don't even think they're poisonous. If they are, they won't kill you. They're not poisonous like rattlesnakes out west. Hey, our next read is from Am I the Asshole? And it's entitled AITAH. I, 32 female, complimented a female nurse during OBGYN appointment for having nice arm muscles and she snapped at me. Yikes. AITA, I, 32 female, complimented a female nurse during an OBGYN appointment for having nice muscles. She was very bothered by my comment for some reason, which I'm trying to wrap my head around. She went on and on saying most people working on themselves at the gym have serious mental health issues and are working out to channel out their not to look nice. She sounds very judgmental to me. I apologized and told her I meant no harm and that I simply admired her for looking strong. She kept getting more and more angry and I just stopped responding. I left the office feeling really confused. Any input would be greatly appreciated from this awkward human who is just trying to socialize. I'd like to add she was wearing the type of scrubs with cap sleeves that specifically showed off your upper arms. Sounds like the person doesn't know how to take a compliment. The proper answer here was, oh, thank you, and move on. Random Nick says, I guarantee you most people in the gym do not go there because they have mental issues. So that tangent tells you more about the nurse and why she reacted the way she did. Your perfectly innocent comment hit the wrong note. You apologized, you moved on. Nah. And Ryong says, I disagree. Everything but the NAH was spot on. The nurse's rant was, in response, was uncalled for. Exactly. We're taught to be professional during bedside manner. It does not mean flying off the handle of a patient who dared call a woman strong. OP was a vulnerable position when she snapped, and that's a terrible look on the nurse and the practice. Added for clarity, I think the nurse is the TA. I don't believe there were none, as the person I replied to said. And individual led, I don't know, one of those. Says, I agree. I had a patient tell me she was going to kill me and chop me into pieces. I understood that I have a job to do and I cannot remain professional if I react to things patients say that I may not like. I doubt the nurse would have reacted like that if the doctor was present. Probably not, yeah. Alligator Vine says this is a sobering example of what we'd all do best not to comment on people's bodies. I don't know. A compliment. It was not supposed to be an insult. It was supposed to be a compliment. There's a difference. There's a difference. And then they're complaining about men catcalling women, and that's not the same thing as a compliment. That's sexual harassment. There's a difference. Oh, geez. You can't even say something nice to people anymore. And guys don't catcall people. It's just immature and nasty. Next, we have Overheard, and it's called Dad and Daughter. Ate my sandwich outside during my lunch break and overheard a dad who appeared to be on a video call with someone who seemed to be his daughter. Dad was wearing earphones during the video call, so I never heard the daughter. Dad, is that a tongue ring? Daughter. Dad, look, you're an adult now and you can do with your body what you want, but as someone who played a part in putting you on this planet, I think I have the right to dial up the dad mode when my daughter is looking less like the girl I raised and more like her goth boyfriend, whose whole personality is based on him playing cosplay as a Gen Z Marilyn Manson. Okay, I thought this was going to be sweet, but it's not. Dad, oh come on, Marilyn Manson, the singer, tall, pale, wears black, kind of looks like he belongs in a Tim Burton movie. Dad, Jesus, it was before my time too, but guess what? I've heard of him. This guy is a jerk. Dad, it's not daughter shaming day. Don't say that. It's daughter will be home soon day. Mom's already made your room ready. Your bed, however, is only big enough for one person, so that means Marilyn Manson will need to use the guest bedroom, or he can use the tool shed if it's more edgy. That's all I heard. My lunch break came to an end, so I had to go. Oh my goodness, this guy's a jerk. Potential light she says as a top comment, earn the right to dial up the dad mode is a top tier line. What a king. And Pink Sai answered, absolutely king energy. That earned the right. The right to dial up the dad mode line is pure perfection. The tool shed punchline just seals the deal. What a legend. Yeah, this is not a good guy. He clearly doesn't like the girl's boyfriend. And what do you do in that situation? You keep your mouth shut. That's what you do. The people eyebrow. My dad never said a word. And then I brought him a good guy and he liked him, I guess. The next read is from True Off My Chest, entitled I Bought My Then Girlfriend a Bath and Body Scent. I realized later why I liked it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I sent the scene by letting you know that my then girlfriend, 22 female, and me boyfriend, 23 male, had been together for around 1 year at the time. I'm a disaster relief worker and she's a dental assistant. I often have to leave my hometown with very little notice and spent several months in some other far off part of the US. Well, this deployment was extra tough. Hurricane Michael tore up Florida. I was averaging 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. The thing I saw there still weigh on me, I'm sure. After 4 months, I was told I could go home. To celebrate, I went to pick out a perfume body spray for my girlfriend. I spent hours at the mall. Nothing really stuck out to me until I went to Bath and Body Works. One scent just made my brain feel so warm and happy. I excitedly bought it and went back to finishing up my days. When I got back, I gave it to my girlfriend as a late Christmas present, and she loved it. We went to a small get-together with my friends a few days later. My good buddy walks up to and cracks some raunchy jokes, as he does. Then I look confused. He pauses for a moment and says that insert scent name. My girlfriend says, it is. He excitedly says, I love that scent. I have the body wash and lotion. I use it all the time, have for years. Then it hits me. That warm, happy feeling was me subconsciously associating the scent with my buddies back home. When I see them, I also make that connection in real time. Was it Axe? Did you get your girlfriend Axe? It was so embarrassing. They started telling everybody else at the get together. I'm playing it off like a coincidence, but I'm obviously red AF in the face. Fast forward to 2025. She is now my wife. She still has that body spray. It's still basically full and unused since. She still brings it up and makes fun of me. My buddy does too. And he still wears that damn scent. I know because he was one of the groomsmen at my wedding last year. Moral of the story is don't buy gifts for your girlfriend when you're really missing home. The brain may make a connection without you realizing it. Oh, I think that's sweet. uh, New York tattoo chick says, "What was the scent?" And OG answers, "For some reason, I thought telling you that specific detail feels like giving Reddit my social security number." Oh. Dad Pez says, "What's your social security number then?" Oh my goodness, that's funny. Apparently, Reddit will blur out your social security number, so no worries, folks. It makes me wonder about his relationship with his friend. But it's nice that he associates his friends with warm, fuzzy, and happy. That's a good thing. The next one is from What Do I Do? A girl randomly gave me this. What do I do now? And I'll show you what the thing is. I don't know what this is. It's weird. I think it's a sticker. It's like, what is that? French fry? I don't know what that is. Okay, so it says randomly gave it to me after we talked for 5 minutes. Didn't say anything about it, just gave it to me. What do I do? We're both 14. He's 14. That's so cute. Necromancer says, fall in love, I guess. Good luck, young bud. Oh, the OP says already did that a month ago. Oh, puppy love. Negromancer answers, I've been out of the game for a long time, but you give a gift like that, maybe a sign to say something. I It might be reciprocated. It might not too though, so don't come off too thirsty. Simple, hey, does a sticker mean something can be fine. Yeah, that's cute. He's 14 and doesn't know what to do with a gift from his girlfriend. That's so sweet. Give her something else. Give her a pencil. Give her a nice little pink pencil if she likes pink. Not all girls like pink. Just saying. Sometimes boys like pink. It's okay. Our next read is from Entitled Parents, Entitled Dad yelled at me for not immediately returning his kid's soccer ball that keeps landing in my yard. Well, don't stop kicking your ball into the other guy's yard, dude. I run a small house with a fenced backyard. I work from home, so I'm usually around during the day. For the past few months, though, it feels like I've been living in next to a one kid soccer academy run by pure chaos. My neighbor's kid, around 10, constantly kicks his soccer ball over my fence multiple times a day. At first, I didn't care. Kids play, accidents happen, I just toss it back. But then it started happening every single day. Maybe this kid needs some attention. Sometimes before 8 a.m., sometimes when I'm on work calls. Once the ball even hit my patio chair while I was outside. So I stopped throwing it back immediately. I figured if it maybe if it took a while, the kid would learn to control his kicks. Apparently, that was the wrong move. Now, every time it happens, the dad comes to my door like clockwork, knocking a debt collector and demanding, can you throw the ball back? No, hello, no apology, just attitude. Like it's my fault his kid can't aim. Last week it escalated. I was outside gardening when the ball came flying over and smacked into one of my plants. I didn't throw it back right away, and a few minutes later, the dad stormed, yelling over the fence. Can't just keep my kid's property, that's stealing. Oh, yes, he can. It's in his yard. You gave it away. I told him, then keep your kid's property out of my yard. This man turned red, full on furious. He started ranting about how I'm a terrible neighbor and unfriendly to children. He even threatened to call the police over a $10 soccer ball. So I said, go ahead. I'll show him the 5 other times this week your kid's ball hit my yard. He stomped off, muttering something about respect. So now I have 2 soccer balls sitting in my shed. And if one more flies over, my dog's getting a new chew toy. Yeah. That's just rude. Like, you were a really nice guy throwing it back. But you need to tell the kid, and you are allowed to talk to kid. Tell the kid, hey, can you not throw it, kick it over? I'm not going to be here all the time. Go on a week's vacation, see what they do. They'll probably end up in your yard, and then you can post trespassing. No Entertainment says, this is a nice little story here. I used to live next door to a family of 5. The 2 boys kicked their ball in my backyard. I'd throw it back over each time I was outside. One, I wasn't outside because I wasn't feeling too well. The 2 brothers came over. The youngest of the 2 was banging on my door like he was the po-po. I opened my door and the little boy said, "It took you long enough to open the door." Whoa. Before he could even finish telling me about their ball, I shut the door in the kids' faces. Good for you. The little one goes running home to tell his parents. The older boy was laughing hysterically. A few moments later, the dad came and started banging on the door. The moment I opened the door, he started yelling at me. I shut the door in his face. It was the last time the boys ever kicked a ball over my fence. Added to add, dad saw me out in my front yard and tried to start this crap again. I looked at him and said, "You want respect, then give respect to people in return." Flipped him off and went back inside. I don't put up with someone yelling at me for no reason, and I will match that person's energy. When I'm that mad, I don't care what comes out of my mouth, and especially when I didn't deserve to be yelled at. Yeah. um, Kicking it over occasionally, kicking a ball over a fence or a toy over the fence occasionally is an accident. It should happen occasionally. When it's an everyday thing, it is no longer an accident. You're doing it on purpose. And you lose your toy. That's how you lose your toys. Bye bye job. It says GOP staffer arrested for making a false report where she claimed she was attacked by 3 men who wrote Trump or on her body. Representative Vandrew's office says she is no longer with the congressman's office. False report. What an idiot. The former New Jersey staffer is facing federal charges. Good. You can't lie about people doing stuff. It's silly. Stop doing that. She's 26 years old. She should know better. And she was working full time. Co-conspirator allegedly contacted 911, and prosecutors say the call reported that she and Green were attacked by 3 men walking on a trail in a nature preserve in Egg Harbor Township, Atlantic County. Caller told the police that fictitious attackers called her by name and were aware of her employment in the office. They found her with her hands and feet tied with zip ties and her shirt over her head, also bound with a zip tie. Police noted multiple phrases were written on her body, including one that stated her employer as a racist, and the other one that we already said. According to the complaint, police learned the story was fabricated after further investigation. Find out about Green's payment to a body modification artist to make cuts on her body based on a pattern that Green allegedly provided. Wow, that's going above and beyond. They say in Green's car they found zip ties that are similar to the ones at the scene. And they went through the co-conspirator's phone search history and included a search for zip ties near me 2 days before the alleged attack. Wow. Yeah, don't do that. What was even the point of that? I would love to see a follow-up on the trial. And even if there's not a trial, there's a sentencing that will have a lot of stuff that the trial would have gone over. So you can still get a lot of information from stuff. Okay, this is Am I Overreacting? Entitled AIO for losing my mind over this note I found in my fiance's pocket. This is the note. Oops. Going to go. There we go. I normally don't do this, but you've been staring. Okay, that's weird. I assume that's got a phone number. Maybe they haven't been staring. Maybe they've been looking right past you. People got, egos and stuff. Me, 29, and my fiance, 30 male, has been together for 3 years. Yesterday, he was out with my friends and came home a bit late. We argued about it too. Tonight, we went out with our friend group and it was a bit cold, so he gave me his jacket. I went to the bathroom and found this note in his jacket pocket. I confronted him and he said it was nothing. He told me he found the note under his coffee cup the night before and didn't even call the number. He said I could check his call history if I don't believe him, and I did. And yes, he didn't call the number, but why keep the note in his pocket? AIO for confronting him about this. Nah, you're not overreacting for confronting him, but he obviously didn't call the number, and I mean, there could be all kinds of reasons it's still in his coat pocket. He didn't have an opportunity to throw it away. He didn't want to leave somebody's random number laying on a counter at a bar. I mean, maybe he was being nice that way. Why is my eye so irritated? A sentient railgun says, I tell my wife immediately when I got home if it happened to me. My wife wasn't going to start an argument if I got home a bit late. But my wife isn't going to start an argument if I got home a bit late. I would definitely be a lot less likely to share this detail if we argued as soon as I got home. I mean, that's fair. Something I meant to share as a funny detail at my night to share would seem like a trigger for another round of fighting instead. Yeah. I mean, see, there's another reason he didn't tell her. Last time my husband went out, which he doesn't often, he didn't get home till like 3 a.m. And you know what? That's fine. I didn't yell at him for it. He was having fun with his nerdy buddies. They went they went bike riding and played with Lego at a bachelor party. And then we went to the wedding the next week. Um, the red Gandalf says, exactly. I'd put it in my pocket to throw away and then forget about it. I wouldn't tell OP because I'd be afraid to. And when they found out, I would say it doesn't mean anything because it doesn't. And then I'd just try to move on with as little fighting as possible. Yeah, you don't need to pick a fight. He's already proven to you that he didn't call her number. So chillax, man. Not everything is about that. Sometimes people just forget things. He was drunk too. He was drinking too. Even more reason to forget things. Our next read is Best of Redditor Updates. A final update on my husband, 32 male, is convinced that I, 26 female, am pregnant. I'm not, but he won't believe me. What should I do? Was originally posted, doesn't say, relationship advice. Okay. All right. This was originally posted in Relationship Advice on August 5th, 2024. So it's been a little over a year. I'm truly at a loss here. The situation has gotten worrying and I don't know what to do with it. Since about a week, my husband has become convinced I'm pregnant. I have no idea why because I'm not. We haven't even started trying, although we do have plans in the future. Okay, that's simple. Go to the dollar store, buy a pregnancy test, use it. Done. We were just making conversation, and yeah, I did mention feeling tired, but that's all. A few hours later, he just came in so excited. I told him I'm not, but he won't let it go. Where did he get this idea? He's made remarks about how happy he is, what a mother of what a wonderful mother I would be, and that what our baby will be like. Not all the time, but it has come up multiple times a day. I told him I'm not. I even took a test because even I started wondering. Yeah, when you're being egged on like that, you do start questioning your sanity. And it was undoubtedly negative. I showed him and he just got annoyed and said tests can be wrong. No, tests are usually not wrong. They can be false negative, but if it's negative, it's just negative, dude. He didn't speak to me for the rest of the evening. The next morning, he acted like nothing happened. When I tell him I'm not, he just kind of shuts me out. I lost my crap yesterday when we were in bed, and he put his hand on my stomach and told him he's acting crazy. I'm not pregnant, and his behavior is scaring me. We went to sleep. He went to sleep in the guest room after that and left for work early the next morning. I haven't seen or spoken to him today. I'm just at a loss. I don't know where his obsession is coming from. I even asked him if I gained weight, and if that's what got him confused. He assured me I didn't. I'm thinking of contacting his parents or maybe a therapist or something. I honestly don't understand what's happening. Edit the next day. Thank you for all the replies. I didn't expect all this. It's been overwhelming and I'm incredibly grateful. He's asleep next to me right now, and I keep going through the comments. My husband is one of the kindest people I've ever met. I promise you, he's not trying to manipulate me or would do any harm to me, but that makes me feel like something is really wrong. I contacted mine and his parents the next morning once he's left for work. Maybe go stay with my mom for a bit, though I hate the idea of leaving him like this. I also definitely will make an appointment with the doctor for a blood test. Thank you for all the advice. Relevant comments. OOP. This is to a longer comment addressing the fact that this could be a delusion and delusions can become violent. OOP. Oof. This reply hit me hard. I appreciate it a lot. I'm very torn. I love my husband very much and I'm worried about him right now, but I feel increasingly uncomfortable at home as well. Commenter replying to OOP. This is not urgent enough response to what seems like a pretty serious delusion. This behavior isn't normal or explicable, expli- normal or explicable, explicable in reasonable terms. OOP says fair is very unlike him. I might call my mom and ask her if I can stay with them for a bit, if only to get all of this sorted out. I just want him to snap out of it. I miss my husband as I know him. Commenter, would he harm you if he thought you got an abortion? Because this is a possibility. He may accuse you of having an abortion if you get a medical confirmation that you're not pregnant after he's decided that you are. OOP, I hadn't even thought of that. Sorry. Thanks for your reply. Commenter, the first time I got pregnant, my husband knew before I did. He had a feeling. Home test said negative, but blood tests showed positive. OOP says, oh my, that's wild. Either way, I meet with my guy, and if only to have conclusive proof that I'm not. Mini update 1 in comments, August 7th, 2024, the next day. Things escalated yesterday, but I'm with my mom and his parents are at our place. Update post, August 9th, 2024, 2 days later, 4 days from the original post. Hi, everybody. I hope it's okay I post this update. I really appreciate everyone asking if I'm safe, and I am. I wish I could give clear answers, but I can't. Things escalated when I tried to speak to him. Keeping some of y'all's advice in mind, I sat him down and explained to him that I would love to have kids with him in the future, but that I am not pregnant right now, and that his insistence worries me and scares me. I told him we could go to the doctor together if that would put his mind at ease, or I could take another test in front of him. I was just hoping to snap him out of it somehow. He got very agitated and said many hurtful things and accused me of being a liar many times. Okay, now we're going into um, brain tumor territory. That I'm trying to keep our baby away from him and so on. Nothing made sense and I wasn't feeling safe anymore. I knew my husband would never harm me in any way, but that wasn't my husband. Things got worse. He did hurt me, but nothing permanent or even emergency care worthy. I also know that if he wasn't in his right mind, he would never have done this. Well, that's terrifying. I called mine and his parents, and I'm now staying with my mom. He did seem to calm down when his parents arrived. I haven't seen or spoken to him since then. His mother, she is an angel. Oh, good mother-in-law. Is keeping me posted about everything. We all agree something is very off about him, and we don't know what it is. But he has agreed to getting himself checked out in any way. I don't know how they'll go about it, but they say I have, and I painfully have to agree, it's best to keep my distance for a bit, as most of it's aimed at me. Yeah, you have to keep yourself physically safe in this situation. I am safe, so is he. I miss him so much. I just want an answer to why he's being like this. I keep trying to figure out if there were signs before what I did wrong. Thank you for all the replies. They were a great help. Relevant comment. Let's pray it's not drugs, since he refuses to get checked out. I'm so sorry, OP. I hope everything gets better soon. I don't know if going back to him is a good idea, though he physically hurt you. Yes, exactly. Until they get it sorted out. Things can make you do crazy stuff. OOP. I do think whatever is causing this, the reason he hurt is the reason he hurt. We've been together for some years now, and he's never even raised his voice at me until this. Yeah, that's wildly out of character. OOP responds to many comments and thanks them. Thanks, I've been reading all the comments. You guys are so kind to me, but I'm scared crapless about what could be reading everyone's experience. Mini update 2 in comments August 11th, 2024, 2 days later. He has apparently agreed to get himself checked out, but I haven't heard anything else. Mini update and comments August 15th, so 4 days after that, 10 days from OG post. He's in the hospital. Many people will write about a medical issue. I'll get more into it at some point, maybe, but first we need to see what's happening with him. I've seen him a couple of times. Sometimes he's his normal self, and sometimes he can't stand the sight of me. We're managing somehow. Update 2, update post 2, August 16th, 11 days from the original post. I don't know if anyone from here will see this, but you've all been so kind, asking whether or not we're okay. I hope I'll reach you like this. I'm going to keep this short. My husband has a brain tumor. Called it. Called it. My husband has a brain tumor. A lot of people commented on this, and I feel an immense amount of guilt that I hadn't considered it until then. All the headaches and other symptoms, in hindsight, we had previously dismissed because of a stressful work situation and so on. I'm beating myself up that I hadn't seen it before. Those brain tumors are crazy, man. Um, I had a family member that had a brain tumor. Um, I mean, if you're going to have a brain tumor, she had the one you want to have because it was perfectly fine. Once it was gone, they got all of it, and once it was gone, it was gone. But years, she had headaches for years and years, like decades, and they just thought it was migraines. And come to find out, it was. And then she said she had a migraine after, like a few months, maybe even several months after, and she's like, "How did I live like that? This is crazy." A wonderful team of neurosurgeons, oncologists, and other brain physicians is figuring out the best approach here. If there is one, we will hear about it in the next days. I spent more time with my husband. Some moments he sees his main self, and others he feels anger. It's difficult, but we're managing. I wouldn't have been able to do this without the support of our friends and family. I love my husband. This situation is terrifying. In moments of clarity, he's trying to make me laugh, so I don't worry. That's who he is. Thank you, everyone, for pushing me to get him checked out. Thank goodness, because this might have been caught earlier than it would have otherwise. Um, OOP clarifies and comments. I'm home now, but my husband is in the hospital. Commenter, in his moments of clarity, does he recognize how he's been acting, or is there some level of reality distortion? OOP, he seems mostly very confused, if that makes any sense. He has apologized, but his mind is just not working with him right now. And that's not his fault. None of any of this that happened is his fault. That's the brain tumor talking and doing things, not him. One commenter said, "OP, this is not the first time I've seen a thread on Reddit where a brain tumor caused significant behavioral changes. I hope the surgeons are able to remove it and your husband's previous personality comes back. Have the doctors given you any info on what to expect after the tumor has been removed?" OOP says that's right now the question is if it can be removed. There's a lot we don't know right now, and the doctors and nurses have been incredible and incredibly kind, though. Side post, September 8th, 2024, 3 weeks later, titled, I'm irrationally angry at my husband for having a brain tumor. Yeah, I get that. It's not his fault. I can't say these feelings out loud, not to the people around me, so I hope it's okay to do here. I'm furious with my husband for getting sick. I know he's not to blame. I know he's suffering, yet I'm still furious with him and I can't explain it. You're getting mad at the wrong thing, honey. He's the love of my life. How dare he get sick? How dare he change anything about the wonderful life we have planned? How dare he leave me with so much sooner than we were when we were old and senile? 2 months ago, our life was perfect. How could anything get so horrible so fast? I love him so much it hurts, and I'm so angry with him right now. I feel like a horrible person. I don't think you're angry at him so much as the situation. When somebody gets sick and you're not expecting it, it can wreak havoc on your lives and it can cause you emotional turmoil. And that's what that is. Update post number 3, September 17th, 2024, 9 days later, 6 weeks after the OG force. It's 2 a.m. here, so I apologize if this is not very coherent. I'm going to step away from all social media. I wanted to leave you with a brutally honest update. It's silly, but y'all's support has meant a lot to me. Don't get me wrong, I have wonderful family and friends, but in a way I have to comfort them too because I can't deal with it right now. My husband is dying. Oh, that's so sad. In the 5 weeks since his diagnosis, he's gotten worse quickly. Today, the decision has been made not to continue treatment or even properly start it. He's not strong enough. He has a month, maybe, if we're lucky. I'm furious at the world right now. I'm furious at him, which makes me an enormous bitch. Because what kind of person is angry at their husband for being ill? I love him so much and I hate him for it. I'm sorry this isn't a better update. Wish you all the best. Relevant comment, top commenter, effing hell, I'm so sorry. I remember hoping it was schizophrenia and not a tumor. I'm still kind of this hoping this is someone's creative writing adventure, but I'm still effing devastated for you. I know the tears from a stranger on the internet aren't really comfort, but they're still falling for you. I lost my little sister a few years ago. I love her so much she was my world. I was like a half parent to her and was planning my life on having her live with me. And after the very quick progression of an unknown illness, she was gone. I still can't only imagine what you're going through. I'm so sorry. I hope you are already linked to palliative care. They are some amazing people. Take it literally 1 second at a time, then 1 minute, then 1 hour, then 1 day. I was taking it an hour at a time for months after she died, and I still sometimes go day by day. If you can get grief counseling, go ASAP. Yeah, OP definitely needs grief counseling just because of her anger, if not anything else. I did phone sessions. I can give you more information if you're in Australia. I mainly use my sessions just to talk about my sister, to tell stories and remember her, to have somebody new know her. Sending you light and love. OOP, this comment means a lot to me. Thank you. I'm sorry for what you've been through. Our medical team has been incredible and even dealing with my emotions with a lot of patience. I just wish this wasn't the path we had to take. Up post days number 4, October 27th, 2024. 2.5 months from the OG post. Title, he passed. He passed on the 16th. We had his funeral shortly after. Thank you for the messages. Wishing you all the best. Update post number 5, February 22nd, 2025. 6.5 months from the OG post. A little update. Hi, friends. I wanted to write a little something here. I don't know if anyone will see it or care. I probably didn't show it properly, but your words did mean something to me. I'm doing okay-ish. Sometimes the grease makes me feel physically nauseous, but I manage. My friends have been wonderful. For a while, I took a step back from his and my family. I do regret that. I guess I had a hard time dealing with their sadness, but mostly we're doing better now. I have a dog now. My friend had to get rid of him because of her living situation change and asked me. Saying yes, initially temporarily, was the best thing that happened. It gave me a reason to get out of bed to focus on something else. Now, don't go gifting your grieving friends random pets, but for me, it worked out well. I've also started working again since a few weeks, only part time, but it's going all right. I recommend therapy for anyone going through this. I resisted at first, then agreed, then ended up with a therapist who I didn't connect with, I realize now, and stopped again. Eventually tried again, and I'm grateful I did. I feel a lot more comfortable and heard with her. It's hard, I'm not going to lie. I want to die sometimes, I still do, but I feel lighter than I did before. It's getting better. I still cry often, and that's okay, as my therapist would say. One step at a time. Thank you for giving me more kindness than I expected from strangers. OOP's only comment. Um, Soggy Milk says, yes, we absolutely still care, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm glad you did cut yourself a break for how you were grieving. As many people told you, anger is a normal part of grief, and it doesn't make you a monster, it just makes you human. I honestly don't know if it's harder to know that someone is going to pass away or spontaneous loss is worse. I wish more people understood that you have every right to fire your therapist and it's okay to audition potentials. We're here for you, whether you want to talk about rainbows and unicorns or what you had for dinner or for your grief. Our support is unconditional. Sending you so many hugs. Final update was November 4th, 2025. 8.5 months from when he died. Last update. I've been coming back to account often lately and decided it's time to let it go. It's been over a year since we lost him. It feels surreal. Um, 18 months from the 4 months. Okay, so it's been over a year. It's been over a year since we lost him. It feels surreal, but I just wanted to let anyone who sees this know I'm doing quite okay. I'm working full time. I started a new hobby and make an effort to spend time with people I love. Most importantly, I realize there's days where I'm enjoying myself again, and I'm so grateful for that. Don't get me wrong, it's still so hard. I miss him every day. I still go to therapy weekly, but I feel like slowly I'm moving in the right direction. Dating is off the table, but that's okay because I have the best dog to keep me company. Thank you so much for caring and letting me be my full grieving self here. You've made a huge difference for this stranger. All the love. And pseudo-social relationships can be helpful to some people, and that's why we're here. So if you need to be here, tell your friends if they need a friend, tell them they can come here and hang out every day, or at least 4 days a week. Okay. The last post is from Made Me Smile. It's entitled "Your tent is happening soon," and there is a note here. And it says, "One accidental test, and 10 years later, Wanda and Jamal are still spending Thanksgiving together." That sounds sweet. I think I heard of this a few years ago. Um, oops, I always forget to do that too. Um, I don't see that. Someone in the comments said, "It's so sad I heard the husband died." Um, and the answer to that is, I imagine, has been a nice tradition to keep her spirits up over time. Yeah. I think I had a feeling I think one of these guys texted the other one, and the young man did not have any place to spend Thanksgiving in, so she invited him to theirs. And that's what you do for people, because that's a nice thing to do. And 10 years later, they're still having Thanksgiving together, and that's wonderful. All right, I think that's all that I have for today. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was thinking about going shopping, but now I don't feel like it. And I'm going on Thursday. Um, so people need to update. I put a whole spreadsheet in. I made a whole spreadsheet with everybody's names and categories and what they may want for Christmas, and most people have updated it, but some people who are responsible usually have not, and they need to. And I might have to nudge them, like, "Didn't get you. Otherwise, you're getting coal." Actually, WB's getting coal because he said he was bad and he wants coal and he deserved coal for Christmas. So I found some of that chocolate coal at the dollar store and got that for him. Hopefully, he'll like it. He does like chocolate, so that's a good thing. All right, that's all I have today. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, biddies. Love you. Bye. Take care. All the good stuff. Bye.